Keyframes are the primary building blocks of animation. But what are they? At the most basic level, a keyframe identifies the frame on which an animation begins or ends. That means at least two keyframes are required for animation. One to mark the frame where the animation begins, and another to mark the frame where it ends. Movement is the most obvious type of animation, like this bouncing ball. But the changing color of the ball is animation too. So is its changing opacity. So, in addition to marking the beginning and end frames, keyframes also identify what exactly is being animated. Color, position, shape, all of these things? Something else? Any parameter in the inspector that has a keyframe symbol can be keyframed, and if it can be keyframed, it can be animated. Let's move this star from the left side of the screen to the right side. The star is a PNG file I created in another app. The first step is to pick a frame where the animation should start. That's done by positioning the playhead. Right here. Then we have to decide where exactly the star will be when the animation starts and put it there. We want it to be on the left side of the screen, so using the position X parameter in the inspector, I'll move it there. Now we need to add a keyframe to tell Resolve this is the frame where the animation begins. That's done by keyframing one or more parameters. The star should move to the right side of the screen. It's not going to move higher or lower or change color or anything else. It's just going to move horizontally to the right. So the question becomes, which parameter or parameters do we need to adjust to move the star horizontally to the right side of the screen? These will be the parameters that need to be keyframed. We used position X to move it to the left, so we can use it to move it to the right. That means position X is the only parameter that needs to be keyframed. I'll click its keyframe symbol in the inspector to turn it red. The keyframe is set. Now we need to decide on which frame the animation will end and move the playhead onto that frame. Here. Next, we need to move the star to where we would like it to be on this frame. That is, where it should be when the animation ends. To move it, we need to adjust the parameter or parameters that were keyframed on the start frame. These same parameters also have to be keyframed to mark this frame as the end of the animation. In our case, it's position X. I'll adjust position X to move the star to the right to where it will be when the animation ends. Resolve has automatically keyframed it for us. Let's play the clip. Great, the animation is working. I've marked out the keyframe positions on the timeline. I'll play it again, but this time, keep an eye on the value of position X in the inspector. As the playhead crosses the first keyframe position, the value of position X starts changing and the star begins moving. And when it crosses the second keyframe position, position X stops changing and the star stops moving. Here's an important point. If the value of position X is the same at both keyframe positions, no animation will occur. For animation to happen, the value of the keyframe parameter or parameters, whatever they might be, has to change. Let's increase this animation's complexity. We'll have the star start out rotating clockwise as it travels across the screen, and when it reaches the middle of the screen, we'll have it start rotating counterclockwise. The rotation angle parameter lets us rotate the star. Since that's what we need to adjust to make the star rotate, that's the parameter that needs to be keyframed. How many times do we need to keyframe it? 3 times. Because we're changing the rotation, there's actually 2 animations, a clockwise rotation followed by a counterclockwise rotation. That means we'll need keyframes to mark the beginning and end of the clockwise rotation and keyframes to mark the beginning and end of the counterclockwise rotation. The keyframe that marks the end of the clockwise rotation will also serve to mark the beginning of the counterclockwise rotation. So that's 3 keyframes in total. First, we need to move the playhead back to the frame where the animation begins. There's an easy way to do that. In the inspector, there's a little arrow on the left side of the keyframe symbol for position X. I'll click it until the playhead reaches the first keyframe position. I'll know it's the first position when the symbol is red and the left arrow is gone. Now we need to keyframe the rotation angle parameter. We'll have the star start out in its present orientation, so there's no need to adjust rotation angle at this frame. Next, we need to position the playhead where the star is in the middle of the screen. That's where the clockwise rotation will end and the counterclockwise rotation will begin. A keyframe will have to be placed on that frame too. Here we need to adjust the rotation angle parameter. To have it do one full clockwise rotation, I'll move the slider all the way to the left, to -360. When the playhead gets to this frame, rotation angle will have a value of -360. Resolve has automatically keyframed it for us. Now we need to move to the last frame of the animation. This time, I'll click the arrow to the right of position X's keyframe symbol. And I'll know when I'm on the last keyframe when the symbol is red and the right arrow is gone. Rotation angle will need to be keyframed on this frame as well. To create one full counterclockwise rotation, we need rotation angle to go from -360 to 0. In other words, it needs to have a value of 0 when the playhead reaches this frame. 0 happens to be its default value, so I can just double-click on the rotation angle label to set it. And the keyframe is set automatically. Let's see how it looks. All right. I've again marked out the keyframe positions on the timeline. Let's play it again and watch how the value of rotation angle in the inspector changes as the playhead crosses the keyframe positions. As it crosses the first position, the value begins decreasing and the star begins moving and rotating clockwise. When it crosses the second position, it begins to increase and the star begins rotating counterclockwise. And when it crosses the last position, it reaches 0 and stops changing, and the star is no longer rotating. And that's all there is to keyframes. You now have the knowledge to create your own animations from simple to complex. Thank you for watching.